Hi, Greg.
Hey, Dad.
It was an interesting day in the market, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a nice rebound compared to what we saw the past 2 days.
Yeah, Compex up 2.01, Q's up 2.17, IWM down just a little bit, so digesting some of those small cap gains. The VIX and then the SPY. It's interesting. Let's take a spin. I got the SPY up on the screen. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly great action compared to that reversal we had on Monday. So if we just keep going sideways here and let the moving averages catch up, we'll take that.
Right, right. Take a look at
What do you
the
think?
the Compex.
What do you think on the complex here?
Well, I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little worried about the turn down in the 50. So we're going to need to play above the 50 to turn this baby back up. But I do like the action where it's sat on the 10 and now it's a little bit above. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a comeback a little bit on the Compex, but that's a good move today. 2.01% up. That's good. And here are the Qs. Um, really like how the Qs came, sat on the 21, you know, opened here at the 10 and played around. Again, I'm not a big fan of this downward trending 50. I like the slope to be positive, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I don't like today is the volume.
Yeah,
That's pretty low on a follow through, not a follow through, but a continuation of a reaction bounce off the 50-day.
yeah,
So just watching the volume, and we want to see obviously clear institutional demand. So
yeah.
if that's not in the market, it's a little tougher.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because, in terms of new highs, we had 164 new highs today, and let's see, what did we end up, or 147 total. Yep. No, 100. Yeah. New highs 162, down new lows 15. So clearly a bullish day in that context. This middle line, if you recall, is the institutional buying, and you can see they were pretty flat all the way up to beyond 11 o'clock. Took it up a little bit, not strong like we've seen in other days. So institutions weren't doing a lot today. They were in kind of coast mode and digest mode, and I think that's what we're seeing here on the cumulative tick. So we're well above the moving average. We're clearly in an uptrend. Clearly, there's a lot of buying on the institution side. So short of this turning down or whatever, a little bit of weakness, obviously, here in the middle of the day, but the last 30 minutes really strong into the finish. I think we're going higher. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm impressed with that tick actually, comparatively speaking, with how we saw growth act. So if we're looking for distribution, we'd probably see tick just completely downtrending. Um, but that's not what we've really gotten. So
Right.
it's good to see that institutions are still in here buying, even though it's not growth. There, obviously, a lot of people have said it's rotation out to value. So we'll see which side starts to get the money flow after throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's exactly right. And just another presentation on the new high, new lows. You can see what we have here. And then this is, Webby's RSI on the Compex. You can see we now retook it. We now are above there. So we're starting to come back into the healthy range. So, I think we're fine. I think we're looking good. You want to go over some stocks?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Which ones are you looking at?
Pins, we'll start there.
All right. Let's go to pins.
One of my favorite stocks in the market so far. I had a good day. Not necessarily the greatest volume, but yesterday's shakeout below the 21 EMA and then a close above was decently bullish. It didn't quite fill the gap up. It was close, but it didn't quite get there. So I think any move higher here is strong, and we'll see how it acts for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I looked at this, from here and then this
Sure.
full gap. It depends on, I guess, where you take it, but the tail obviously yesterday. I think we do have coverage on closing this upper level here,
Yeah.
and the buyers, and so we've shaken out whatever we need to shake out, and I think we're going up in pins. So I like that. I like that position right now. We'll see what happens down here with the volume, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. What's next?
What do you do? Net.
Okay. Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, another good one. Just stalking this too. Obviously today got a pretty good bounce. But I was really, really impressed yesterday, actually. It closed that gap perfectly from the gap up day.
Mm-hmm.
And then right on the 10 EMA, nice convergence at that level. And then it closed up above that, and then it took off today. So I was really impressed. We'll be watching this tomorrow if there's any more weakness and try to get an entry a little bit lower.
Yep. Yeah, no, this looks really good. I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback in here, but I'm not bearish at all on that. I think this is a good signature, and we've just got this movement here off the 10, so we'll see what's next.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to call
it? We'll do two more. Let's go to Snap, and then we'll finish on Tesla.
All right. So here's Snap.
Yeah, all of these kind of have the same characteristics. Huge gap up with some volume, and then it's kind of just moving sideways, trying to consolidate.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit messier than Pins or Net has been, but I posted on Twitter today. Anyways, I digress. But that the pin structure looks a lot like Snap does right now. The pin's first gap out of the 30 range looks a lot like Snap does right now. So I'm really trying to focus in and see if we can find more similarities and try to trade off that template. But yeah, so it held the 21 EMA yesterday. Today retraced on lower volume, so it looks fine. It's just consolidating.
Right.
And then we'll just pull up Tesla and be done.
Yep.
With mine, and then we move on to yours. Yeah, so Tesla here, lowest volume in a long time, super tight price action. I took a position in just a quick starter at the end of the day, and then have some buy orders set in the morning. But yeah, this could go at any time. It's really hard to catch, so that's why I set the buy orders for tomorrow. What do you think?
Well, I think you're absolutely, the observation about volume is key here, right? This is virtually nothing today. So you can't read any negativity into this. You can't read any bullishness into it. As we were discussing, pre-recording this, the 420 level is a key level for Tesla followers, anyways, for a number of reasons. And then we've got this convergence going down. So I think you're well placed to take a look and see if we can get in right at this convergence point. I am a little worried, is not probably the strong word, but I am a little concerned about we're starting to downtrend on the moving averages, and obviously I like to be on the positive side of that. So I do think there's room for improvement on this. I will note that in terms of overall trend template, we're still green here, which is indicating that for all intents and purposes, this thing is still a quality stock in an uptrend, and we should be buying the pullbacks, buy the dips, and get into it. So this is as good as any methodology to get into it. So yeah, no, it's good.
Sure. What are you looking at?
Well, looking at a few of the options. NIO has options right now that are alerting on us, and like for instance, this Friday's expiration of a 46 call in NIO. The premium right now is at 48 cents. With $4,200 committed per 100 shares, that actually equates to about a 1% return on option, very close to a 1% return on option. But because of the 2 days, that's over 100% annualized. So I think if folks are looking to do a short-term play, if you think 46 on the call side, getting into this at 43, riding it for 2 days, collecting the premium up front might be a fairly good play to consider. If we go out a week, Square on the put side is a real interesting one. There's an alarm that's at 167.5. So if you think about if you wanted to get into to Square, you could either sell the put down here and get into it just over the 50, or if you don't think it's going to do that, you collect the premium, and that premium right now is easy 23%. So one way or the other, you're going to make some good money. Your committed capital, though, is going to be a little bit on the pricey side. It's about $16,000 per 100 shares, but that's something to watch. And then, as you indicated, pins is on my option list at potentially 65 on the call side. So if you think you can do something there, and this is a week out now, pins at 65, you can get some pretty good premium there. That might be something to do. 65 is up in this range, so you'd be pushing the new highs. If you were to get in, sell the call on a covered call here, you actually would ride this about $500 up per 100 shares, plus you would be able to collect about 75 cents worth of premium. That's a pretty good return for a week's worth of work. And then Snap, as you indicated in the overall chart, a call at about 41. This, as you indicated, this probably is going to come up over 41 by next Friday. So probably not as good a play here as you would think. But those are the options I'm looking at. I think there's a lot of opportunity, and all our trades are echoed out on Twitter. So I think if folks want to see what we're actually doing, they can follow us, and it'll all be there transparently. I don't really have anything else.
What's the Twitter at?
At Greek God Trading.
Yeah, we'll just put that in the description, and then so people can find it.
Yep, and they'll be able to follow our trades. You got it.
Cool.
All right. Well, tomorrow's another day. We'll see what happens.
Yes, sir.
All right, son. Thanks a lot.
Yep, you as well.